Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Coach Grossman Dynasty here on NCAA 14, featuring that college football revamp, of course. And we got some good things in store in this episode, man. Of course, we got this regular season finale against a pretty good Michigan State squad. They're 8-3, 6-2 in conference play. We're also 8-3, but not as good of a conference record, but that don't matter to Lee Corso, though. He is going to be rocking with us in this game, man, to end the regular season. But yeah, I'm real excited to see how this all turns out at the end of the day. We're gonna find out after this game what bowl game that we are going to end up playing in, and then on top of that, I also will give a little bit of a recruiting update just to see how you guys are doing in terms of the recruiting process for your custom prospects that were submitted this season. So it's going to be a good episode, man. I hope you guys are excited for it. And if you are, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash that like button for me and hit that subscribe button as well if you have to be brand new, by the way. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see if we can finish this regular season on a high note, man. Let's get it. Alright, man, so Michigan State got the ball to start this thing, but that being said, they couldn't do anything with it. And it's now our time to shine as our first play of the game. We actually are going to dump it off to Panay Boone, who gets lit up like a Christmas tree. But he still hangs on to the football, refuses to fumble it, and picks up a decent little gain, a little 5-yard gain to get things going. But the big change is getting Isaiah Jacobs more involved in this offense. And he has made the most of this new opportunity as we try to throw it to the left-hand side looking for Raheem Jarrett, but the ball might have just slipped out of his hands. I really am not too terribly sure what was going on there, but it still ends up in an incompletion anyways. So now we find ourselves on the run. Tulia Tagovailoa picking up the first down on the ground and getting across the 40-yard line in the process. So now here we are in Michigan State territory, 1st and 10, trying to get it out to the left-hand side on the pitch. Could not get the pitch off, but we get a little bit of luck on our side. There is a face mask that's called on Jeff Petrowski, and that will go ahead and make this thing a 1st and 10. We got a 15-yard penalty, and that also makes it an automatic first down as well. So now, 3rd and short coming up. Going to go ahead, see if we can pick up this first down. Just trying to make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Play action, facing pressure. Looking it over at Raheem Jarrett, but that ball gets tipped up. And if it wasn't for that, that could have very well been 6 points. But instead, going to go for it here on 4th down. Looking for Panay Boone, but our offensive line cannot get the push that it honestly needs, and definitely a big sad moment right there, man. And that does end up meaning that we turn the football over on downs. So all of that driving that we did to begin this game ends up for nothing. Of course, next drive, Panay Boone gets a bunch of yards. That would have been nice if we got the first time around, but it is what it is. Just got to go ahead and focus in on this drive right here as we try to throw on 2nd and 4, but Tulia gets lit up again. This time, Jalen Hunt is going to get in there and attack the quarterback in a 3rd and 11 that we don't necessarily want to be in, but they do get fooled on the halfback screen. Isaiah Jacobs makes a man miss and almost gets into the red zone. 29-yard gain. And so, a 2nd and 12 coming up as Tulia drops back, facing pressure, finds Raheem Jarrett, end zone, touchdown, Terrapins. Let's go, baby. Getting ourselves on the board against the Spartans of Michigan State on the road. Top 20 matchup, and Tulia took a shot in the process, but he hung tough and got 7 points on the board because of it. But this Michigan State Spartans team came to play as well. Now, they're a team, I mean, they're in the top 20 for a reason. They are not a scrub squad like Indiana, like Rutgers, who we played in the last episode, these guys came to play and they're cold with it. So we got to match that same energy as we go play action. Find Rakeem Jarrett upfield, and oh, if we got away from that dive, Rakeem Jarrett could have gotten away, but still a really good play downfield that does get us into Michigan State territory. Once again, we've been doing a really good job of driving this ball down the field, generating a lot of offense, which is something I really love to see. Is now 3rd and short, going to go ahead, hand it off to Isaiah Jacobs, and finds a little bit of a crease in order to move the sticks. It's another first down for the Terps. But can we repeat again? 3rd and long. Tulia dropping back over the left-hand side. Going to set up another halfback screen. And this time, Jacobs gets loose with it and stays in bounds all the way to about the 6. In a goal line situation here as we look for another touchdown to retake the lead. But Tulia could not get that back into the end zone. We are going to be marked down at the 1-inch line. Let's see if we can punch it in here. 3rd and goal. Panay, hand off, end zone, touchdown, Maryland. And Michigan State knew what was coming, but they still could not stop it anyways. And we will end up retaking the lead. And this time, Michigan State cannot respond. So we still hold the lead. And we have the football to go with it as well. And the offense is really starting to hum along. What it's been able to do these last 3 games, including this one, of course, been pretty good. It's been really nice to see as we almost threw an interception. I almost jinxed our quarterback, talking about how great this offense has been doing. And now a 3rd and 8 because of it. We'll see if we can pick up the first as Tulia looks around, going to try to go ahead. He's going to look downfield, finds Dejuan McDougal, and it goes for a gain of 18. Did a great job on the scramble drill to set up that first down. And with less than 2 minutes left here in this first half, we have an opportunity to go ahead and add some more points on the board as Tulia took a shot, and this time he's a little bit shaken up. So now David Faust is in the game, and look at this dot that he throws. Literally his first throw of the game. He is ice cold. It doesn't even matter. Finds Dino Tomlin to set up this goal line situation. 1st and goal. Gonna go ahead and look at this. Run it in the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. And how about David Faust taking over at the end of that drive? Still not missing a beat. And still getting a touchdown for us anyways. And look, and we don't even need David Faust that much because Tulia does come back into the game. But we got to throw it over to Marcus Fleming under duress. And here comes Fleming down the sideline. And if he can get this block, it's barbecue chicken. No. But a 68-yard gain down the sideline. As it's now a goal line situation again. We'll see if Isaiah Jacobs can get it into the end zone for us. A little bit of tough blocking, but we still find that end zone anyways. Touchdown, Maryland. And a 28-10 game on the road to go with it. How about this for a poetic revenge game? Remember, this team last year eliminated us out of Big Ten Conference Championship contention. And they did it on our home field as well. Let's see if we can make it a 30-burger here. Tulia drops back over the middle, tries to find Marcus Fleming again, but Angelo Gross does break it up at the last second. And Michigan State will start to inch a little closer. They get a field goal on their last drive that will at least make it a 2-possession game. But that being said, we can still go ahead and put the dagger in the Spartans. As we'll look short over to Corey Dupree. As Dupree ends up trucking over a defender. Nice little 6-yard gain. Not even our primary option, but still some good yards to be made there. As now, a couple plays later, going to go ahead, run the option again. And Tulia Tagovailoa opted to bounce it on the inside. And it's yet another first down for the Terrapins, as it leads to yet another 1st and 10. Isaiah Jacobs also getting himself rocking and rolling, rumbling and stumbling. Almost for the first down marker. But it's going to be just an inch shy, as we'll go with the option again on 2nd and inches. But Tulia puts the ball on the ground, though. Corey Dykes does at least make sure he gets his hands on the ball. And that could have been an absolute disaster that was narrowly avoided there. And because of that, we will still be able to go ahead and keep this drive going for the time being. As now, 3rd and 2. Coming up, going to try to pick up the first down again. Dino Tomlin with some blocks. One man with the beat and almost got himself into the end zone, but it's going to be just marked shy. We'll see if we can punch it in. Looking at our new fullback, Panay Boone. Does he have the cojones to get it in the end zone? And yes, he does. Another touchdown for Maryland. And a commanding lead against the Michigan State Spartans. Sending a message here for sure, man. As we are wrapping up season number 2. This is our final regular season game. Hopefully a game like this can propel us to an even better bowl game. Not necessarily maybe a New Year's Six bowl, but we can get like an Outback Bowl or even just a bowl in January, you know, where there's more media attention on those bowl games. That would be really ideal for this football program as we continue to start getting a little bit of time off the clock, but we still want to get our foot on the gas pedal as Tulia will continue to run and bounce. But the smart thing about Tulia, he ends up sliding down there. So once the ball is ready to be snapped, that still gets some time off the clock. And one more first down for us could very well make sure that the ball stays in our hands. But Dino Tomlin drops the pass. So that's definitely a little bit rough to see. But it doesn't hurt us all that much in the end, though. As Michigan State, you know, it's a spirited comeback. You know, got to give credit where credit is due. You know, they fought hard to make sure that they got back in this ball game. But it's too little too late. They do not get the onside kick. We pick up the first down as we go ahead and hit that famed victory formation. This game does end up being barbecue chicken, and we do end up getting the revenge that we absolutely deserve. Tulia Tagovailoa gets named player of the game as well. Was really efficient, 15 for 21, over 300 yards passing to go with it as well. He was looking really good out there on the football field as it helps us beat Michigan State on the road. And the only thing left to do now is check out those stats. So a pretty good showing for our offense overall as we end up dropping 35 on the Spartans. More importantly, we get the win. That's what I care about. In the words of Al Davis, baby, just win, baby. That's all that really matters. But we looked pretty good in both the running and the passing. We had 166 yards on 4 touchdowns on the ground, but we shredded them through the air. 342 yards passing between Fouls and Tagovailoa, so that feels really good. And more importantly, we actually won the turnover battle. We did not turn the football over. We got an interception as well, and we dominated the time of possession, so that puts us in a spot to where we are just 1 win away from having our first 10-win season in a really long time. But with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the stats for our guys real fast. And David DeFaus, he did have to come into the game for a little bit because Tagovailoa was a little shaken up. Only threw 1 pass, but he threw for 23 yards, so that's really good to see. Tagovailoa, though, was really good. 15 for 21, 319 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, had a bunch of big plays downfield through our passing game. But it was our running game that did end up getting things going. Now, Tulia did struggle a little bit running the ball, 21 carries for just 36 yards. We did fumble the ball, but we did end up recovering it. We did find ourselves with a few guys getting to the end zone, though. Isaiah Jacobs, 14 carries, 71 yards. Those 71 yards do lead all Maryland ball carriers and found the end zone. But it was Panay Boone who was the biggest beneficiary, as he had 2 touchdowns on the day, good for 7 catches and 25 yards. Not to mention our backup quarterback also found the end zone. He had 1 carry for 5 yards. As for our receivers, we didn't throw the football all that much, but that being said though, what we did end up doing, when we did throw the football, we certainly made it count. Isaiah Jacobs led the team in catches today. He was the only one with more than 3 catches, but almost had 100 yards receiving though, 4 catches, 95 yards. Marcus Fleming though had a really big day, 3 for 135, including a long of 68 yards. Almost got into the end zone, but didn't quite happen there for us. The only person that did end up getting into the end zone though was Raheem Jarrett. He had 2 catches, 48 yards to his name as well, and found the end zone. It was the only passing touchdown that we had in the entire game. But now that we did go ahead and make it to the end of the regular season, let's go ahead and take a look at where your custom prospects are going, because I'm sure we are going to have some updates to, your guys' recruiting status. So starting at tight end, we do have 3-star tight end Kevin Sparks over in Washington, D.C. He is going to end up playing his college ball at Old Dominion, 6'6", 210 pounds to go with it as well. I do need to update his stamina and his injury rating, because that never got updated. So I'm going to bump that up a little bit, because they're both at like 40s right now. But he is going to be staying relatively close to home. This was his only scholarship offer. Meanwhile, down in Florida, we actually have Joseph Krakowski from IMG Academy making a decision. He is going to play for UCF over in the American Conference. Should be joining the Big 12 here in a couple of seasons. And, it was between them and FIU. And let me just say, Central Florida has a pretty versatile guy. Not only somebody that could play that fullback position, but can also go ahead and play in that linebacker role as well if need be. So they got themselves a 2-way player, and I'm interested to see how they're going to go ahead and use him. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, we have another tight end in James Skaggs, and he is going to play his collegiate football at the University of Notre Dame. And he had quite a few scholarship offers. He was well sought after. Western Kentucky, Louisville, Ohio State, and home state of Kentucky also came in there and came with a scholarship offer, but is going to play with the Fighting Irish. Not the fastest guy on the face of the planet, but he does have the ability to go ahead and, get some good blocks in, could develop into a nice little route runner as well. And I'm interested to see how he turns out. 5-star guys, we'll see how early he does end up on the football field. Down in Mississippi, we do have Devin Carson choosing to play his college football in North Carolina, so he's going to be out of state. Was between them and Wake Forest. Is going to be rocking with the North Carolina Tar Heels. Good speed guy, not the best at breaking tackles, but that being said, should be a really good add for that Tar Heels offense as we're getting out of the Sam Howell era. Speaking of wide receivers, we also have Wardell Jackson making his college decision, and he is going to stay in the state of Nebraska. He is going to be playing with the Cornhuskers. Now, in case you're wondering, he would not be the only custom recruit that has signed with Nebraska. Matter of fact, Eli Thompson, who is signed last season, actually, he is on the team as well. He was a 4-star guy. So 2 custom prospects for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, both at wide receiver. Now, as for his brother, Michael Jackson, he has not made his decision yet, but he is starting to get close, though. We are looking at potentially a 2-way race between Texas Tech and Texas State, so looking to leave the state of Texas, matter of fact. We'll see what he ends up going, but he is a 2-star prospect, but good size, though. 6'8" and 370 pounds. he is a very big man. Moving back over to the East Coast, we have Mitch Steele, who was a three-star product out of Morganton, North Carolina, and he is going to end up signing with the South Florida Bulls over in the American Conference. This was his only scholarship offer, but does have some decent speed. We'll have to see if he can develop his throwing arm, though. If he can be a very good quality starting quarterback for the Southern Florida Bulls. And finally, to wrap up the recruiting update for your custom prospects in season number 3, we have Mason Warner out of Ravenna, Ohio, but not staying in the state though. He actually will be taking his talents to the SEC, where the Ole Miss Rebels, they jumped on him and no other school really had an opportunity. So he's going to go down south to play for Ole Miss. Should be a quality add for that football program. So we do end up finding out which bowl game that we're going to, and it looks like we got another pretty good bowl game. At least a New Year's Day bowl. We get the Outback Bowl. Going to be taking on SEC opponent Arkansas, who's ranked number 19 in the nation. They have the same record as we do, one less conference game. As we go ahead and check out some of the awards that we won, looks like Fleming over on the defensive side of the ball won the Chuck Bednarik Award. Also see Ty Lewis win the Dick Butkus Award. Not to mention Fleming winning the Jim Forte Award. Best defensive back in college football is who ends up winning that award. So a bunch of award winners on the defensive side of the ball, not on the offensive side. But that being said, we're going to take our still pretty good offense to the Cotton Bowl to take on Arkansas. They're a little bit weaker on paper, but that being said, Lee Corso is going to be rocking with them. We're going to have to go ahead and try to prove them wrong. Should still be a really good episode, and I hope you guys are excited for some Outback Bowl action. I certainly am. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, make sure you go ahead, smash that like button for me, hit that subscribe button if you have to be brand new, hit me up down in the comments as well. And with that being said, this is John J. Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.